Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are a return subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I'm so glad to have you here. And if you are new here, my name is Shannon. I make videos about cleaning motivation, mommy day in the lives, and as you can see, cook with me's. And today we're going to be doing 3 easy crock pot meals. I am a working mom, so this is extremely important to me, y'all. The crock pot meals are like the simplest thing ever. So these help me save time and still give my family a good hearty meal. So the first meal that we're going to be doing is going to be my cheesy chicken and rice, and I'm just going to be showing you all the ingredients. All of these recipes are going to be in the description box, so check in there, and then I'm going to tell you as we go what I'm doing. I will tell you with this recipe, it does call for an onion, but I didn't have any because I couldn't find any because of everything that's going on right now with the coronavirus. It is hard, so I put a little bit extra onion powder in it. But this is a really good meal and it's very, very filling. I actually eat it with Ritz crackers. You can kind of eat it like a soup. You can kind of eat it by itself. It really just depends on what you like. But let's get right into it. So as you guys saw, I was just seasoning my chicken. I usually do about 3 to 4 chicken breasts. And then I go ahead and normally I would put my onions over it, but I didn't have it today. So then you're going to mix 1 can of cream of chicken soup with your chicken broth, or you can do chicken stock. And then you're going to pour that over your chicken in the crock pot. And also I do a little bit of fresh garlic or jarred garlic if I have it. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that on low heat for about 6 to 7 hours. You can also do it on high for 4 to 5. Then one of the other things that I do once that is like close to being done cooking is you're gonna make the Zatarain's yellow rice on the stove. You're just gonna go ahead and boil it and just follow the directions on the box. After your rice is ready, you're going to go ahead and pour that whole pot of rice in the crock pot with your chicken, and you're going to also shred the chicken. You can do it before you put the rice in, or you can do it after. Either way, you just want to make sure that you get it chopped up pretty fine. Some people like it a little bit chunkier. I like it a little bit chunkier myself, but you can do it to whatever taste you like. So now you're going to take a can of corn, or you can do frozen corn as well. Here I did a can of corn and just drained all of the liquid out. And then you're going to go ahead and pour that into your cheesy chicken and rice mixture. And you're also going to add a whole bag of shredded cheese. You do not have to use Kobe Jack. You can use pretty much whatever you want, although I do recommend using some kind of a cheddar cheese. And then you're going to mix it up and cook it another 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure that everything melts down and that the corn cooks through. So I'm just adding a little extra seasoning in here. I like a little bit more salt in my food sometimes than other people. And I'm just adding a little garlic and onion powder as well. You can do it to your taste, and I just usually will take a little spoonful and check it and see how it tastes before that. I felt like it needed a little bit more, so I just added some, and then I'm just gonna stir it up, and then we are all ready to serve it, y'all. So I really hope that you guys like this recipe. As I mentioned, I do use it with Ritz crackers, and it is super good. Or you can just eat it by yourself, or you could even do it on toast. I hope y'all enjoy it though. So our next easy crockpot meal is going to be a potato soup, and the first thing that we're going to do with this, we're going to go ahead and wash all the yuck and the dirt and the grime off of our potatoes, get those nice and clean, and then we're going to go ahead and start chopping them up. So the thing about this recipe, guys, is you can either cut them with the peel on, which is what I'm doing, or you can peel them first and then dice them. It really doesn't matter. The recipe calls for it to be peeled, but I've tried it both ways, and I do like the extra nutrition that the skin gives. So you can do either one. And I'm just cutting them into little strips. You can dice them if you want, but at the end we're gonna mash them. And you do want a little bit of chunk in this soup. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and just throw those in the crock pot. Now we're going to go ahead and start adding our seasonings. Right here, we're going to go ahead and do some salt. And this is going to be 1 teaspoon of the salt. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same for our onion powder, 1 teaspoon. And then the same with our garlic powder. We're going to do 1 teaspoon. I just spread it all over because it's gonna get mixed all in. And then you're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of the black pepper. And then after we do that, we're going to go ahead and add our chicken broth in. And that's going to be 2 cups initially, and then we're going to do another 2 cups, which is going to end up being a total of 4 cups of chicken broth. Again, you can do chicken stock if you want. It's really what you have on hand. I prefer the broth because I feel like it has more salt in it and just is a little bit more flavorful. So you're going to go ahead and put that on, and then we're going to set that on low for about 8 hours. And again, you can do that on high for 4. Now we're going to go ahead and mix 2 tablespoons of our cornstarch with 2 tablespoons of warm water. I like to do it with warm water. I just think that it helps it mix together a little bit easier because it can get a little bit clumpy. So we're going to go ahead and mix those 2 together, and then we're going to add that in the crock pot. If you did cook your food on low, this is where you're going to go ahead and turn it up on high and let that cook for about 15 to 20 more minutes. And then you're going to add a 1/2 cup of sour cream. And you're just going to go ahead and put that in a little bit of a bowl. And we're going to take just a little bit, maybe like 2 or 3 tablespoons of the broth mixture that's in the crock pot and add that to the sour cream mixture. You're going to do this because it's hot and it's going to help break down the sour cream and mix it up a little bit and get it to a smoother consistency. So we're just going to go ahead and whip that up, and once we finish doing that, we're going to pour that right on into our mixture. Now we're going to take 4 ounces of our cream cheese and put that in our mixture. It is a little bit harder to get this to melt down, so it does take about maybe, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes to stir it up. You're also going to take a full bag, so 2 cups of any kind of shredded cheese. Again, I would recommend cheddar of some sort, and just mix that up real good until it melts down. Again, you'll probably have to do this for about 5 to 7 minutes. Then we're going to add in our crumbled bacon. I had already cooked this bacon up. I just put it in the microwave. Make sure that it's a little bit crispy so it's easier for you to crumble. And you're gonna go ahead and crumble those into your crock pot. You can also do green onions with this as well. I personally just like it without the onions. And then stir it on up and it is ready to serve, you guys. A perfect creamy cheesy potato soup. So last but not least, guys, we're going to do my Italian dressing chicken. This is my go-to during a busy week. It is one of my absolute favorites, and it is so simple to make. This is going to be your go-to, I promise you. You're going to take 3 to 4 chicken breasts and go ahead and season those up however you like. I do salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. And the biggest thing you want to do is make sure that you use the Olive Garden Italian dressing. I've tried it with other Italian dressings and it's okay, but it is not as good as it is when you use the Italian dressing. So I just go ahead and put a whole bottle over top of it. If I use more chicken breasts, like sometimes I do 5 instead of 3 or 4, I will add a little bit of water to it, like a half of a cup. But because we're using only 4, we're going to go ahead and just use that 1 bottle. You're going to go ahead and put your top on and put that on low for 6 hours. On this particular day, I went ahead and put it on for 8, and I think I took it out at 7 just because it's a smaller crock pot. Once it's finished, you're going to go ahead and shred it up. And again, you can shred it to your liking. If you like it chunkier, do it chunkier. If you like it thinner, do it thinner. I usually make this on top of a bed of white rice. I ran out of rice and I could not find any at the stores because, again, quarantine and coronavirus, and we couldn't find it. But you can do it on egg noodles or anything else. I hope you guys love this video. I hope it gave you lots of motivation, and I'll see you in the next one.